examples of how you see people at Rockhurst living on Magis?
I think I really see a lot of the students at Rockhurst living out the ideal and the value of Magis. And rather than sort of give a real particular example, I think I'll sort of just speak about students in general. There are students here who I see work incredibly hard to succeed in their courses. There are students who I see also give a lot of time and energy and effort into being involved in activities, whether it's sports or activities like theater, that kind of thing. Or, I mean, I've known you for a couple of years now, and I see a lot of the time and effort you put into like the residence life programs. I've seen that over the time that I've known you. So I really see in a lot of ways our students really embodying the ideal of Magis. I think some of the athletes, I think about the incredible time and energy that they put into, training and that kind of thing, and then are also great students. I know students here who have families, who are raising kids, who are working a lot in addition to going to school and taking their courses. And in all of those things, they're really striving to really succeed and do something. And I think those are all really good examples of Magis.
Now, before teaching here, I heard you worked at Starbucks. Are there any parallels between Magis and coffee?
When I first started working at Starbucks, so here's what was going on in my life. I had been a high school teacher. I was starting to work on my PhD, and I knew there was no way I could do both of them, just the time commitments, and also my daughter was going to be born about 6 months out at that point. I just knew the time commitments, there was no way that I could do it. But I did still really want to work. I felt like it was important to work. And so I thought, well, what would be a great place to sort of work at part-time, while I'm going to school, while I'm taking care of Sophie. And so Starbucks seemed like a really great company, and for two reasons. And this is what I told them actually when I went to interview for the job. One was that I thought they made the absolute best coffee that there was, seriously. So, and then the other was that I thought that they were committed as a company. I thought they were really committed to treating their employees fairly. Those were the two reasons that I wanted to work there. I love coffee, and I also love companies that treat their employees right. And both of those things I think I would say are related to Magis in a way. We had this sort of constant thing when we worked there about always trying to make sure we were serving a really high quality product, and I think especially that our coffee was really high quality. And I mean, that seems sort of trivial, I guess, in a way to talk about something as sort of profound as Magis and something maybe that seems so mundane as coffee. But I'll tell you, man, you have a good cup of coffee in the morning, it sort of sets everything else off just right, And so I think, really, I mean, in a sense, I think that there is a connection there, but maybe in a little more substantial way. I mean, it was a company that was really, really dedicated to treating their employees well. It really helped me take care of my daughter. I was working there part-time, but I got health benefits, I provided health insurance for my daughter. The hours were flexible. I was always able to sort of also take care of my daughter and go to school while I was working there. And all of that was because it was a company that was really dedicated to treating its employees right. And I think sort of this question about, how can we be better in our relationships with other people? That's, that's really a part of Magis as well. And so was making coffee, is that related to Magis? I mean, yeah, I suppose in a way it is, but it's also the particular context in which I was making coffee, I think, in a context in which a business environment which tried to treat people with respect. I think that's really related to Magis in some ways. I think maybe the lesson to draw is this, that sometimes the most simplest ways in which we encounter and interact with one another can also be the most profound ways, So like I said, making coffee for somebody, I think on one level it may seem very trivial and very mundane, very ordinary, but it's also the occasion in which you can have very genuine, very profound interactions with people. And I think maybe that's in some ways what Magis is all about, right? That even in the most simplest moments of our lives, the most kind of everyday, ordinary occurrences, that even in those moments, we have the opportunity and the potential to really genuinely encounter something.
Thank you so much, Benyon. And this has been Magis at Rockhurst.